Namah Shivaya friends, welcome to Dots of Destiny. Today's topic is the transit of Venus in its own Mool Trikon Rashi Libra, and this is a very welcome transit starting from 18th of September to 13th of October. Brief as it is, 25 days. The sign of Libra is a very comfortable position for Venus, and not only that, it is not afflicted here. It is in a Kama Trikon with Saturn and Mars. The desires will be high. Libra is not just a sign of relationship. Whenever we talk of Libra, we think of the 7th house and partnership, but it is a refined sign. It is very refined. It's the equilibrium that we have. It is harmony, art, it is negotiations, it is diplomats. Most of the diplomats will have Libra prominent in the horoscope. The diplomacy that we have in our character comes from Libra. So Libra has an undercurrent also. As equilibrium, always that balancing of the scale, as we see from the front, if you see a Libra personality, sun, moon rising in Libra, you feel that they have that calmness in them, the diplomacy in them, but underlining there's a current you can call of frustration, of ambivalence, of a lot of other things, the crisis of identity, the understanding, because it's a marketplace, right? The Aries is self, Libra is the marketplace with a lot of people out there. How you negotiate, how you crack a deal, how you trade. It's a merchant sign. So Libra is a lot of other things other than just relationship. When I see a sign, and because I don't know, maybe that's how it is, the Indian people, they have a lot of affinity about marriage and relationship, always culminating to that point. But Venus in Libra is not just about that. Yes, relationship is in the mind, a very need for relationship, and if you have a Venus in Libra, they do carry out their relationships very well, especially if it is in the Navamsh D9 horoscope. This I've seen. They know how to deal with relationship, because dealing with relationship is also very it is barik. It's very thin line actually, how to deal with every relationship, not only with the partner. So here the main focus, I think, in this transit of Venus in Libra will be about some rectification of the relationship, the trade, the commerce, the negotiation, all these things that were very much marred with the Venus transit in Virgo, debilitated with Ketu. It was a very, I personally also felt relationships were quite, though it was great to go through it in a mum kind of a state, in a way that the less we speak, the better it is. But here the negotiations, the diplomacy, because every relationship needs some kind of diplomacy. It's not called fake. There's a very fine line of difference between being fake and being diplomatic, because every situation does not need a knee-jerk reaction. So that is diplomacy, that is Libra, that is a quality of Venus in Libra. And obviously a person having that kind of an arrangement in the horoscope, on the Lagna, in the Kendra, will be very classy, no doubt about that. They have a class of their own, they have an attitude of their own, they have a sense of, a sense of speaking, a sense of thinking, a sense of negotiating, deal, trading with people. The trading is also done in a very uplifting manner, not just, just a trader. So there are a lot of qualities. As I have dwelt into, as my thinking process always went into thinking that it is just not the 7th house relationship sign. So I have found many nuances and layered color of this Libra sign and also Venus. So it's a welcome transit, and it's like a little bit of fresh air in the surrounding that is happening around us, which is not very good given the planetary transits are like that. Now another thing about this transit is that it's happening in the Kama Trikon. So Gemini, Aquarius, Libra is totally active now. So wherever it is, whether it comes into your 1st, 5th, 9th or your Artha Trikon, or wherever Libra is placed, 5th and 9th to it, Saturn and Mars is there. So in this short phase also, you will see there are deep desire for fulfilling some kind of a relationship goals, some kind of a desire, some kind of an the culmination of the desire will happen. Definitely it will happen. Though Saturn is retrograde and Mars is in Ardra for quite a long time now, till 30th September, still Venus will give that quality to achieve that desire, whichever house it is, because whenever this Kama Trikon is so much active with such planets in it like Mars, Venus, Saturn, yeah, you will have some kind of a desire fulfillment, hopefully, and especially if you're running any of these like Venus, Mars, and however small it is, it can be. I'm not telling that it will be always a long-term goal that you're looking forward, but this is that kind of a transit. The desire will be in a very subtle way, because Saturn, when it's 5th in the trine to Venus, it does not allow Venus to, and the sign is also not like that. It's not the over-the-top feeling. It is not like Rahu exaggerating it. And Mars will give the gusto, because Gemini is the 3rd house sign. It will give you the punch for it. The 3rd house is initiation. Mars being there, you can initiate things at this point of time regarding relationship, but keeping in mind that the gains out of it can be a little timid, but it will be given to you in some way or the other. And it's a very good transit for mending of relationships first and foremost. Because Venus is also Lakshmi goddesses, you can invest money if required at this point of time, some monetary gains at this point of time, some wellness in the family. All these are part of this transit. So let us see how the ascendants are affected by this transit of Venus in Libra. Ascendant, it is the 2nd and the 7th lord coming into your 7th house. This is a good transit for your relationship front, definitely, and your business front also. Now, because Venus was in the 6th house, as it is debilitated and also conjunct with Ketu and a lot of other things, if you were running, you are in the running some kind of a dasha antardasha pratyantar of Venus, and then this is a good time to a stitch in time saves 9. So that kind of a transit regarding your relationship, your business. If you want to put some money with your partner into the business, it can be done at this point of time, because Mars in the 3rd house, your Lagna Lord, is raring to go. It wants us to do something. 3rd house is that kind of the energy, and because the Kama Trikon, the 3, 7, 11 axis in your horoscope is very prominent now, so you can want the desirous thing out of this transit, which is a 25 days transit starting from 18th of September to 13th of October. It's a good transit. It will give a grace to your personality. You can think beyond rushing into things. You can take time, because Venus is aspecting your Lagna. Saturn is also aspecting your Lagna. So this Venus-Saturn combination aspecting the Lagna can give a touch of diplomacy, which sometimes is missing in Aries personality, because they are direct people. So that's the reason it's a good transit. Make the full of it. Because after this, when Venus goes into the 8th house, your money, because it's the 2nd lord, your monetary things, and Scorpio, as it is, it's a very dark sign. A lot of other things can come into picture. We'll discuss that about later, but as of now, it's a good transit for traveling with partner, overseas travel, giving a good time with partner, some romantic seasons with partner, getaways, nice relationship, nice interaction with business people also. If money is related, you want to go into a business deal and you have something in your mind, you can discuss all of this in this transit, which is a short transit, but make the most of it, because it is a really desirable transit. For Taurus ascendants, the Lagna Lord comes into the 6th house. It is a mixed transit for Taurus ascendants, because the Lagna Lord, it is kind of a thing that, see, though it's its own sign over here, but the thing is that Venus gets debilitated in the Kalpurush Kundali in the 6th house. So here the result will be mixed. Venus is one planet which does not do very good in the 6th house, though it's its own house. Some benefit can be achieve. Like if you want a loan, it can be sanctioned, but then the desire is such that may not be up to what you want. Second, monetary things can trouble your mind. Some court cases, if it's there, it can lead to some negotiations if properly done. If you're running some kind of phases like Jupiter-Venus combination, then health should come into focus, or some kind of health problems, little bit or whatever it is, can take your peace of mind. Another thing is that this transit is actually Venus, Mars and Saturn is forming a trine, which is your Artha Trikon. So these planets are such, whether Venus, whether Mars, whether Saturn, these are materialistic planets. And in the Artha Trikon, they push you towards, you know, earning or your well-being or accumulation or loans or anything which is related to the material world. Here the transit is not much of a relationship based transit as Libra is said, because if Libra is originally the 6th house, because for the Taurus ascendant is such, the relationships can go for a bit of turmoil, usually it does for Taurus ascendant. So that's the reason the transit is not very fructifying, in the sense that the pleasant and the beautiful qualities of Venus is not enhanced over here. So take your time and think about it, and don't be in a rush. Yes, money can be the need of the day. Some monetary desires can creep, that the attainment of these desires can take place. Well, it can take place, but if you are running some relationship troubles, then it may go for a negotiation ending, because in Libra you cannot, it's a dead end if you fight with it, because fight does not give its way in Libra. If you win also in Libra, it's of no use actually, because it's a sign of negotiation. So here you have to go into a win-win situation, so that you are not affected by it also, but you win it in some way, not by fighting but by talk, diplomatic talk. So that's how the transit of Venus is for you, Taurus ascendant. Gemini ascendant is a 5th house. It's a very good transit actually. The 5th house, all the qualities of the 5th house, and see Mars is on the Lagna. 5th you have Venus, and Saturn is in your 9th house. So here the trikone of Mars, Venus and Saturn can push you towards some achievements or some goals that is about yourself actually. Now Mercury will also come into your 4th house shortly. So see, 5th house Venus, if it is there for in your original horoscope also, it gives a very nice feeling. And though it may not be transit for share trading or anything, but it gives some kind of a name, fame, some kind of if Mars is not very turbulent and creating you know, other effects on your ascendant, because Gemini Mars can be sometimes very roughshod and people can go actually too much with their point. Otherwise the 5th house is taken care very much, and Saturn is also having a good hold on the 9th house. Only you have to keep yourself calm and let things happen. It's a good transit for children. They can achieve something. Your love affairs may flourish. You can, you know, you can have good intelligence. Your peace of mind can be good. You can think good. You can give lot of good, you know, advice to people. Somebody comes in the official area also. If you're asked for something new, creative ideas can be generated from you. So all these things are characteristics of this transit of Libra. It's a good transit actually, and monetarily I'll not say to that extent, but some kind of a name, fame, desire, fulfillment, that kind of a transit this 5th house of Venus will give you. Then comes the Cancer ascendant. The Cancer ascendant is the 4th house, your Libra, and it's a very luxurious transit, I can say, because Venus is Digbala in the 4th house in the own sign, and also it is Malavya Mahapurush Yoga in the transit. If you have originally such kind of you know, in the horoscope, if it is not afflicted, then really you love pomp and show, you love being materialistic, you love good things, big things, classy things. All these are part of your character. But overall horoscope scope is very important, understanding that. But this transit is helpful for you. It is good for you. some kind of good harmonious things at home, or some kind of ceremonies at home, or if you are in the process of decorating your house, some kind of get together at the home, any car you want, any real estate car, good deals, decoration, art and craft, anything regarding, and even education also. If you are wanting a stream of your choice at this point of time, you may well get into all these things. So this is good transit. Given that you have, I'm expecting that if such conditions will be fulfilled, if you are running Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, because such small transits, Pratyantardasha and Antardasha, matter more than Mahadasha. So here another thing is that Mars, only problem at this point is that Mars is in the 12th house, Saturn is in the 8th house. So the comfort level can be given to you at this point of time, but understand that Mars, the 12th house transit of Mars is not good for you, and neither the 8th Saturn, which is retrograde. So because this is a short transit, you enjoy it, you be happy, but at the same time you have to be focused in what to do and how much to do, because sometimes indulgences, 12th Mars sometimes wants to give some indulgences, because see, 12th house is expenses and it is aspecting the 3rd house also. So that's the reason, and Virgo already has a Ketu in it, your 3rd house. So sudden decisions regarding things should not be taken. You can feel complete in your heart, you can feel good at this point of time, you can feel that yes, if you have anything related to your home, it's going in the right direction. But be careful of the 12th Mars, very important, because then Mars will transit on your Lagna, which is a little bit emotionally, why little bit, an emotionally roller coaster ride actually. So take advantage of this transit, and also brace yourself for the coming days, which is tough, because Mars being Yoga Karak and a fiery planet which gets debilitated on the Lagna, it's not an easy transit for the Cancer ascendant. But this transit is good, make the most of it. And also because Saturn and Venus both will be aspecting your 10th house, any work related thing, anything, you will give your good judgment, because Venus Saturn, the combination aspecting the 10th house gives a good judgment, a slow approach, a cautious approach, a diplomatic approach, thinking approach towards the 10th house. So Mars being in not a good condition, these two aspecting the 10th house can give you a slowness and better ability to think about the 10th house. Leo ascendant, this is happening in your 3rd house. Now your 10th lord and 3rd lord coming into the 3rd house. Here traveling is important, communication is important. You can communicate very diplomatically with people. That will happen because 2nd house, as Libra, Venus comes into 3rd, Sun will also come into your 2nd house and meeting Ketu over them. At this point of time, a kind of detachment happens for the Leo natives very much, because Ketu is that kind of a planet. So you speak less. When you speak, you will be speaking in a very clever way, in a way that you don't upset people, because Ketu is there in your 2nd house. And take care of your health, your especially your face and eyes, so that you don't get hurt or anything, if at all you are running that kind of a dasha. And though you can feel a little secluded from the society, because when Sun is with Ketu, but this transit of Venus in the 3rd house, because 3rd is a house of initiation, house of communication, commercial communication, but these things will happen. So the 10th house will be taken care of in a very in a way that you are working with the 10th house, because 3rd house is a house of activity, so it will make you work towards that. But yourself, you can feel a little detached from the things. That can well happen, Sun being conjunct with Ketu. So it is like a 70% good transit for you, because see, another thing is that again your Kama Trikona is active, 3, 7 and 11. 11th house Mars is there, 7th house Saturn is there, too much over what do you do with this Venus transit with your desire, Saturn is going to give you some kind of a hindrance, because Saturn is aspecting the Lagna. Mars is giving you certain, gains or whatever you call it, but it is getting trimmed due to also Ketu running away the money from some disturbances in the family, something is there. So take this transit in this way, that you work towards your goal. If you have to initiate something, you have to go, you have to travel. Travel is good at this point of time in this 25 days of transit. So communicate well, do your work well, get going with the energy of the Venus, your 10th lord, also very important lord. Otherwise you have to be a little cautious, because Mars is preparing slowly going towards your 12th house. So diplomatic, enthusiastic, cautious approach is required. Enjoy the transit, travel with friends, get together with people, communicating with people, but all with a slight of, with a taste of Venusian quality, classiness and a kind of diplomatic touch. So this is the transit of you, Venus for you. For Virgo. Virgo is a second house. Second house is a good transit for Venus, and especially if some kind of money related thing, if some gains was to happen, if you have to, your savings you were looking at, all these things will get paid off at this point of time. But Ketu and Mercury, Sun also will be on the Lagna, so Mercury will also join Sun. So at this point of time, you yourself and the second house is very important. So you have now see, this is the thing that happening with you, is that second Venus having a 6th Saturn and a 10th Mars. So Mars is also aspecting your Lagna. Speech will be good. Whether you see, because when Sun and Ketu meets on the Lagna, sudden flare of energy, and Mars is aspecting that, sudden flare of energy or heated up things can happen with you. But by the time you speak about it, when your speech will be good, though you will be able to go with the things that is happening with you, and you will not be in your family, you will not put that frustration to your family. Your money will be good, your family matters will be good, you'll enjoy good food, you can plan for some kind of investment. If you want to go for travel also, you can plan now, later execute that. All these things will happen. A busy period for you actually. It's a good transit for you. Transit wise it's good. Rather than the Venus being with Ketu on the Lagna debilitated, where you just didn't know what to do about with your relationships and your partnerships and your family and your money and all this. Now things will go towards being sorted. But since Mercury will also meet Ketu on the Lagna, some kind of because Ketu is a very that kind of a planet which is intuitively is telling you something. Mercury is logically, your Lagna Lord is telling you something. So these conflict will remain, but still you will be able to do good and justice to your second house because of this Venus transit, which is really good for you in the second house. And 10th Mars is there, so Artha Trikona is very important. 2nd, 6th and 10th. So maybe some job front, you can get a job and your salary is good, you have started earning, you want to start earning, you change something, you get better things. So these can well happen when Venus is there in the second house and your Artha Trikona is getting good flavor with this ingress of Venus in Libra. So good transit for you. For Libra ascendant, the Lagna Lord is on the Lagna. This can be a really good time for you, Libra, and maybe you were looking out for such transit for a very long time, and the situation of Venus was absolutely not good in Leo and neither in Virgo. So enjoy this transit. It will give a full bloom to your personality. You will feel happy. Your relationships will be good. People coming with you will shower blessings on you and their good vibes will touch you. And if you had some kind of 8th house Lord also, so if you had some investment that can give good returns to you, it'll enhance your personality. Such kind of an arrangement, if they're in the permanent horoscope, it gives a grand touch, because it's a Malavya yoga in its full form on the Lagna, and it makes you very charming with people. and you have a great sense of style and glamour, and a lot of and the way you speak and the way you carry out yourself. All these things are really good as far as this transit is concerned. Nothing really bad about this transit at all. And obviously it is in the with Saturn in your 5th house and Mars in your 9th house. Yeah, Mars 9th house transit is not, because it is in the trines. These 3 planets are now working in trines with each other, with Venus ingress into Libra. So Mars can a little bit dampen your qualities of the 9th house. You should not do anything as of now with your just only by the chance of your luck. That is the only caution I feel, because Saturn does not give a great luck regarding the 5th house. Neither that Mars is a great planet to provide extraordinary results in the, because it's your Marak planet after all, the 7th lord. In the 9th, you can well travel with your partner. Your treatment with your partner can be really good. You may be able to, you know, do justice to his or her feelings. These things can be good. There can be attraction with the partner. These can also be good, but only with the chance of luck at this point of time, because your inner feeling will be so nice once Venus gets into Libra. So at times we feel, no, when we feel delighted, let's take a chance. So only with luck, do not do things. Rest, if you have done a long study about anything, you want to invest in anything, you want to take a chance of a long drawn process, because some kind of a desire is also generated when Venus comes on the Lagna. Then understand that and then take the call for it, because that kind of a feeling you may well get in such a good transit on the Lagna. And especially if you are running a Venus Antardasha Pratyantardasha. See, when a planet is in transit, it stays just for 25 days. So if Dasha Pratyantardasha Antardasha is working, it gives its full result actually, because here Venus is without affliction, so the results will be in that way very desirable results. So best of luck for this good transit on the Lagna. Scorpio ascendants, it is in the 12th house. So your 7th lord in the 12th house. So here the thing about your 7th lord going into the 12th house in its own sign, first and foremost is that some expenditures which can be luxurious can well happen at this point of time. Journeys towards a foreign destination can happen. Some investments you want to make which you know is a little bit more than what you have in your kitty. That kind of things can happen, but understand one thing, it can sometimes bother you emotionally also, because Venus in such kind, and I mean 12th Venus is a good Venus, but it gives some kind of problem with you know, the emotional part of life. Some emotional glitches can happen with people, though it is an own sign, but it's your Marak Lord. So some grace of fortune can also happen, because 12th house is your good karmas also stored in it. Some classy travels can also happen. Investments also, if you want to do dan, if you want to do, all these are favored. But some glitches from relationships may well happen at this point of time. So it is a okay transit, because see, the Lagna Lord is also in the 8th house and Saturn is in the 4th house. So you understand the situation is not very excellent in the sense that it does not give you a very win-win factor, because Lagna Lord is in the 8th house and 10th house Lord is now going and joining with Ketu in the 11th house. Had it been alone, then the profession would have taken a very both the transits, Sun being in the 10th and the 11th, it's not up to the mark of its glory. Saturn being there, Ketu being there, aspecting and all these things. So at this point of time, any decision you make should go with cautious approach, definitely. You should ask people around you whether to go with it or not. If excess expenditure at a limit, it's okay, it usually gives, because Venus in the 12th house, as we say, it's a golden spoon kind of an arrangement. It gives that urge to do it. So this is good, but it's very important to keep a tab on the expenses also. If it's done, then also how much you can give, how much you are capable of giving. All this you do it, but with your capacity. That is very important. And 10th house decisions, or you being fidgeting with the 10th house now, will not give much results, because your Lagna Lord is now going for a big transit in the 8th and 9th house. Let Venus come on the Lagna, then things can be little bit better in a different way. Mars will go into the 9th house at that point of time. But anyway, Mars will be debilitated, but okay, better than the 8th house present transit of Mars. Nothing very good to say about the transit of Venus in Libra. So it's a okay transit, I'll say. So let's see, next time we'll discuss some other transit. As of now, this is the condition, and you should keep a check of your expenses and your health and all these things. Sagittarius, the 11th Lord in the 11th house. This is a good transit actually. And if you are expecting some raise or income coming from different sources, that can well happen in this point of time. If you were looking out for a job, then that can also happen at this point of time, because it's the 6th Lord in the 11th house. If there was any court cases or anything, or loan, it will be in your favor also. You will speak straight. You will not that kind of it is a very direct Venus over here. And this is your elder siblings. You can have a good rapport with them if you have originally that kind of an arrangement. This is also good. Your Saturn is in the 3rd house and Mars is in the 7th house here, and Venus in the 11th house. This is the Kama Trikon getting activated. So keep a watch that you do not indulge with different kind of things, because nowadays it's become a norm. Why I don't like speaking about unnecessary things, because that is not how I believe life to be. But cases come to me that out of my marriage I'm seeing this, that and all these things. So now see, it's your take. I cannot make a comment on that. But these kind of arrangements augur them a lot, give them a fiery push, because Mars is such a planet, and Mars will be in your 7th house and your 8th house transit for a very long time, and Mars is your 5th Lord. And Venus now being in the 11th house, you can get a urge, a lot of desire can creep into your mind, because after this the Venus will have transit in Scorpio. That is your 12th house. So, well, these kind of transits do push us, if at all. I am not telling for everybody, because I come across such consultation, I am talking about it. So, I thought of it better telling it, that be very careful in what you go into, because there are many emotional losses also we come across when we do unnecessary, unwanted things. Otherwise, it's a good transit for keeping your gains good, and you can feel charged up to do things, especially if you're running a Venus Antardasha, Pratyata Dasha. You can feel that you are now feeling charged up to work, and Mars is aspecting your Lagna. Take a little cool, because Mars aspect on the Lagna gives a person a lot of frustration at times, that I want to do it very fast, but why not? But it's not the case, because Mars always pushes you, but it always does not work in that way. So keeping that in mind, this is a good transit, and your salary or promotion or any desire that you had been keeping for a long time may well get fructify at this point of time. Capricorn, Venus is coming into your 10th house. This is another Malavya Mahapurush Yoga in the transit. It's a excellent transit of Venus. And such people really are good counselors at the workplace if they have something in this kind of a thing in permanent kundli. You can feel your luck is also a little bit better shining because it's your 5th lord, it's your yoga karak planet, and in the Kendra it's a really good transit. You can feel uplifted, you can feel better. The thing is that this is good in the 10th house. Saturn is also retrograde, but it's in the 2nd house. It gives a stability. But the 6th house Mars can put you into some kind of a distress with 6th house things, because Mars in the 6th house, you know, it wants to deal with Rogrin Shatru in a very ferocious way, so in a very fiery way. And because Gemini is also communication sign, so anything can come out of the mouth. So but this Venus will let you have the calm because it is in the Kendra house, and here it controls your personality. It gives a touch to your personality, which is really I mean, I love this kind of arrangement when I see in the horoscope, in the permanent horoscope. In the transit also, it will give you that kind of aptitude. It will give you kind of you know, you will function in such a way that you have a class of your own. You have a sense of balance or equilibrium of your own. The condition of the 9th house is not very good as Sun and Ketu, because 8th lord will be joining Ketu in the 9th house. So only with the chance of your fate or fortune or luck, do not be ready to jump into things, as I don't think you'll do that, given the condition of Venus is so balancing at this point of time. I don't think you'll just jump into things because of just luck, because it will not pay off, because the 8th lord is with Ketu in the 9th house, Sun, and Mercury will also join. So only that is the caution you need to take, but otherwise it's a really good transit, enhancing your personality, any professional achievement, upliftment. You want a you know, greater grade, or your bosses can also, I mean, boss is the 9th house, maybe or may not the boss feel very good with you, but your presence on the professional front would be great and felt. That is it. So it's a nice transit. Aquarius, this is a relief for you Aquarians when Venus comes into the 9th house in its own sign Libra. Till now it was giving you a lot of misfortune actually with Ketu in the 8th house, and it's a really pathetic arrangement, Venus being in the 8th house in debilitation with Ketu. Here, when Venus comes on 18th of September in your 9th house, you can feel really a lot of sense of relief. That's the best thing about this transit, you know. You can feel a faith, you know, restructured, or the faith that had been missing has been again reinforced in your personality. You'll go along good with people. You will take people in a very nice way, in a style that people will go with you well, because and your communication and your steps ahead will be all judged by Venus in this 9th house. It's your yoga karak planet. So this is a very good transit actually. Any house related matter can get solved. Any bhagya will take a shine. Many things maybe which a little bit here and there you got stuck with things, it can start and progress better. You'll have a fine environment. Believe me, it's a very good transit. Before Saturn goes direct, when Saturn goes direct on November 14th, Saturn is now prepared to give its last leg of result on your Lagna, which I'll make a video later. But this is a very good transit that is coming in between to give you a sense of relief. Venus in the 10th house is also good. Next transit is also good. It's not a bad transit, but 9th house in its own sign in Libra is quite uplifting for you mentally, physically, thinking about things. It gives you a grace, it gives you a nice art and culture will be promoted and all these things. Just don't go into investment suddenly, because always remember that still Rahu Ketu is there, and Mercury, your 5th lord, will come now into the 8th house with Sun, the 7th lord. The partner's health needs some check, maybe, if at all, if you're running such kind of a Dashanta Dasha. Otherwise, it's a very good transit for the Aquarians. Pisces ascendant, Venus is coming into the 8th house of Libra. No way this is a good transit. 8th lord in the 8th house, Jupiter in the 3rd house. Mars is in the 4th house and Saturn is in the 12th house. See, most of the fronts are not favored by this transit or the kind of arrangement that is happening for Pisces. Because see, these kind of things can suddenly give relationship sour. Those see, because it's the 8th lord, it's the 3rd and the 8th lord. Venus is not a good planet for Pisces ascendant at all, in no way. So here glitches with the in-laws, some kind of, you know, forgery. I mean, in the sense that suddenly you get a setback from any relationship. You should be very careful regarding your health also. 8th lord, when it comes into the 8th house, you should be very careful about your health. Your part below the stomach should be taken care, the lower part of the body. And Mars is there in the 4th house, Ketu is there in the 7th house, Rahu being on the Lagna, Saturn in the 12th house, and Jupiter in the 3rd is not, and it will go retrograde also very soon. It is not good enough to protect you from some problems that you can face at this point of time. So take a very good care about yourself, because transits are meant for this, that learning at which point of time we have to be cautious. Once Venus goes into Scorpio, it is little better. It'll be opposite Jupiter, that's a different thing. But as of now, in these 25 days, the most important thing is about not investing in relationship. Don't expectation should be less. Your financial thing should also be taken care of in a very cautious way. Your relationships can suddenly abandon you. Your health can go for a toss, small or big, whatever. These 4 things has to be remembered by the transit of Venus in Libra. So it's not the way I wanted to speak, but reality is reality, and we should keep that in mind. Okay, so this was my take on Venus in Libra, and hope I'll come with I'll come with Jupiter retrograde video soon. So a lot of transits are coming up in the next month also. So see you soon. Have a good time. Take care.